That's an extra roll. Oh no. He's got no polar fantasy. This is being so good to me. I'm getting very suspicious. This is a disaster. Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ash and this is Onyx Raven on Paper, a place where we love anything on paper, really. So books, plans, memories, that sort of thing. We do have a big focus on books, so may I present my brand new TBR game? I was so excited about this. I've wanted a TBR game for such a long time. It's finally happened. I'm excited to play with you today. If you do like bookish content, make sure you stick around for future videos and future episodes of what I'm calling this is My TBR. I think it is what we're going to go with, because it is indeed a map. So I am acutely aware that we are a week into February already. This took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. I thought we could use the February TBR as like a test of the game, and also to set up the board, and it gives me an opportunity to test out the camera angles. So just to give you the lay of the land for how this video is going to go, I will have everything chaptered via timestamps down below for you. So we're going to do the intro, hi, hello, check. I'm going to go through the base board right here, you know what things mean, how we're playing, but there is going to be things to go on the board, so I'll go through all of those things as well and what they mean, and go through how I'm going to do the dice rolls and things like that. So then I will go through any books that I have to read in February because I'm already committed to them for whatever reason, and any readathons that I'm going to be participating in. Then we'll play the game and figure out what I'm reading, and then I will do a overview of the books that were picked, how they fit into the readathons, because I am participating in 2 this month, and then any admin that I need to go through with regards to how the game went and how we will proceed in the March TBR. So, as you can see, this is a map. I made it myself. I did take a little bit of inspiration from one of those map generators. I think people use them for RPG games. This in particular was taken from that. And the reason I chose that map as inspiration is because that looks like my husky. So it is a grid reference. So we have 1 to 16 on this end, 1 to 10 on this end. Each square is 2 by 2 inches. So unfortunately, because I wanted a decent size, A, to fit things in, and B, so be better for you guys to be able to see the board, I couldn't quite get 20 in, because obviously it would be easier for me to use a 20-sided dice and a 10-sided dice. So we are using a 10 and a 6, which means that I will never be able to land on 1 by 1, obviously, because when you're using 2 dice, you're never just going to get 1. We have some areas, and obviously I've kind of painted it so there's like different sort of themed areas. That isn't necessarily going to come into it, at least for now. In future they may mean something, but for now it's for an aesthetic purposes. But we do have some areas. The island itself is called Raven Area. Original, I know. My Animal Crossing island is also called that, just for a bit of trivia. But we do have some other areas. We have Rogie Island, which is named after my husky, Liam's Lagoon, which he named that, so he got that. We have Simba's Pride down here, which is my Chow Chow. And we have Patty Wood here, which is named after my sister. The basic concept before we put anything on the board is if I land on any square that is a land square, so whether that be grass, sand, mountain, wood, whatever, that is going to, in one way or another, take me to a book, a specific book, or a prompt in which to choose a book. if I land in water, so that is a square that is majority water, that is book overboard. So I have to have an extra roll, which means an extra book on my TBR. So with that, obviously there's some squares where the land overlaps. It's going to be to my discretion whether I count that as a land or a water. If there's enough land in the square that I feel like there is enough to land on, then I will count it as a land square. If it's literally got the tiniest little bit of land on it, like here, then that's a water square, you know. So you can have a go at me in the comments if you think I've made the wrong decision on that, but that'll add to the fun of it, I'm sure. I have my marker, so if it'll focus. So that's my marker. It's a raven carrying a stack of books, because of course it would be a raven, right? So that is why it's called book overboard, because basically the raven will have dropped the books in the sea. Okay, I've got my little tray, a little tray of goodies here. So first of all, I have some character markers. I haven't found an illustration for my sister yet that I liked, so she will be getting one as well. So we've got Simba, Rogue. She's not actually that colouring, she's more brown than that. And Liam. I will have my sister as well. I was intending to illustrate them myself, but I ran out of time this month, so they will be going on their respective areas of the board, and if I land on them, it is their pick. So it's like a pet pick, or Liam will pick me a book, or my sister will pick me a book. Just because I want to put these on the board, I'm just going to show you this one. So this will not come into play this month, because this is what I need you guys for. These will be viewer recommendations. So if you have any recommendations for books, then please put them in the comments below. And if I haven't read it, I will pop it into a viewer recommendations kind of jar or something. But as I don't have a pin for my sister yet, I'm going to use one of these because we're not using them this month. X marks the spot, obviously for buried treasure, and these will signal me being able to purchase something from my backlist. So that's why I've done it as buried treasure, because it's something that's been buried some time ago. And these are the things that we're going to be rolling for how many goes on the board that we're talking about now. We couldn't have a map without some chests. So we've got some treasure chests. I found all these illustrations on Canva, by the way, in case you were wondering. This is going to signal BookBox. At the moment I'm subscribed to Fairy Loot. So I have a lot of books from last year that I didn't get to from Fairy Loot boxes. And also this year I would like to actually join in with the read-alongs, which is something I didn't do last year. I did it in January and really enjoyed it. So obviously this landing on this will make it easy to get that book or get one of the books into the TBR. And then my island is going to have a very popular, now franchised coffee place, which is going to be Luke's Coffee, which if you're a Gilmore Girls fan, you will recognise that. And this will, if I land on this, this represents the Rory Gilmore reading challenge, of which I have, well, I've got half of the books printed out, because there's 408 books on that list now. Next month I'll have all of them. That will signal me picking a book out of the Rory Gilmore reading challenge. I have given myself 40 chances to veto the book, simply because there's a lot of kind of textbook type stuff in that list. Also there's some books that are either out of print, or they're very niche American writers that are very difficult to get hold of in the UK, or there's some very political like biographies and stuff, which I may not be interested in either. Yeah, so I wanted to give myself the option to be like, okay, I'd like to choose another one, thank you, I don't want to read that. Because I think there's a dictionary on there as well. I've of course already told you about the message in a bottle, so if you do have any recommendations, book recommendations, please let me know down below. Then we have, yeah, I'm calling these minefields. What that is I've got a jar with a very small amount of books in. And basically these are books that intimidate me in some way. So they might be really long, they might be in a genre that's out of my comfort zone, like epic fantasy or something like that. Or it's a book with a hard-hitting topic in it. Or I've hyped myself to the point where I'm now intimidated by it. So there's different reasons for why the books are in here, but it's kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone. And just while we're here, my Rory Gilmore challenge ones are in this retro radio. The final thing to show you of something that's going to go on the board is probably one of my favourites. I really enjoy this. And they are these little tents. And each tent has the name of a booktuber. There's Jade Reads right there. So basically these are booktuber rec, right? So basically if I land on one of these, it's either I already know something that is like one of their favourite books and I've got it on my shelf, so I'm gonna read that. Or if I don't, if nothing comes to mind straight away, I go to their most recent video, see what books they're either hauling or reading or talking about in their most recent video and choose something from there. Anyone that's got a readathon that I am planning on participating in, I will automatically add to be put on the board. So what I'm going to do now is I've got my phone on an overhead thing above a table here. So we're going to roll for how many of each of those things are going to go on the board. And then we're going to roll for where we put them, which is exciting. This is the bit I've been waiting for. We're just going to use a 6-sided dice to decide how many of each. So as we were talking about the tents, we will roll for the tents first. 6, wow, okay, so it's going to be, oof. Actually I might include them in the 6 because otherwise it's going to be 8 and that's quite a lot. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to show you the tray. I'm going to close my eyes and I need to pick 4. Ooh, Steph loves The Wild Sasha, Elliot Brooks, and Jack and the Books, as well as Jessie from Bow Ties and Books, and Jade from Jade Reads. Awesome. That's amazing. What I will say as well is I can't remember how many was there, like 30 or 40 booktubers I've already done. I've also got a running list of other ones to make. So if you have a favourite booktuber or someone you'd like to see me put in like the draft, just let me know down below, along with any book recommendations, and also prompt recommendations would be great as well. So next was 9 and 10. We need to re-roll. 7 and 10 instead. No. It can't go on water. So that is 8 and 1. We're getting all water. We're getting all water. Ah! We're getting all water squares. Right, okay, come on, this time. One more go. 9 and 2. Oh, we've already got someone in there. Oh no!
Okay, so 6 and 8, come on. 6 and 8, 6 and 8, 6. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's another water square. Come on. So 7 and 3, come on. What? This is actually a joke. This is actually a joke. This is just a reroll for this. Come on. 11 and 5. I'm worried that this is going to be more interesting than the actual game now. So that is 11 and 5. Come on, 11 and 5. 11 and 5. Oh no. This is like what? There's loads of available squares. Come on. 9 and 3. Oh, you're actually joking. Come on. Oh, that was a 5. I knocked it over, didn't I? So 11 and 5. I feel like we've already tried this one. Yeah. Come on. Oh, this time I'm going to use some more dice. 4 and 10. Water square. A water square.
Water square. 6 and 3. Another water square. 10 and 9. Oh, thankfully. So we have the board set up. I feel like we've got a good distribution of stuff. I'm going to be starting with 5 rolls, so 5 books, because that's a manageable TBR for me. It also means that if I want to do any secret TBRs or themed reading vlogs alongside, it gives me a little bit more space for that. And also it means that if we do end up getting any extra rolls, I'm not going into too big a number of books to read because I will fail. 2 books that I have to get to this month. The first of which is a buddy read with my sister is Alatsaway by Darcy Little Badger, who is an Indigenous author. Basically it says, imagine an America very similar to our own. It's got homework, best friends and pistachio ice cream. There are some differences. This America has been shaped dramatically by the magic monsters, knowledge and legends of its peoples, those Indigenous and those not. Alatsaway lives in this slightly stranger America. She can raise the ghosts of dead animals, a skill passed down through generations of her Lipan Apache family. Her cousin is murdered, and basically I think she goes on a mission to find out what happened to her cousin is what I'm gathering from that. And the other one is my choice for Readathons. The next prompt is a pronoun, or is it a possessive pronoun? So I know that mine is one of them. So I've got The Baby Is Mine by Biancan Braithwaite. This is one of those £1 quick reads. I picked it up from the works. I thought it'd be nice to get a smaller one onto a TBR. This is of course the author of My Sister the Serial Killer, which is a backlist title of mine that I'd love to get to, so this will be a nice little introduction into this author's writing, so I'm excited about that. A wickedly dark story about pandemics, parents and playboys. Something about a baby, a blackout, a blood stain on the wall, and someone has scored tribal markings into the baby's cheeks. It's a fight between 2 women, so I'm guessing it's some sort of like mini thriller, which I'm excited about. 104 pages, so it's just over 100 pages. So I'm hoping to get those in. So the readathons that I mentioned earlier are Polathon, hosted by Jade Reads, and Blackathon, hosted by Jessie of Bowties and Books. I will link all channels mentioned, announcement videos for any readathons mentioned down below. And for Polathon, I'm hoping to be on Team Adventurers, I think, which is Gavin's team. I will go through any prompts at the end once we've done the roles. And then Blackathon is a month-long readathon. I think Jessie is doing a week-long version as well as, but that falls on the same week as Polathon, and I just don't think I can manage 2 readathons in 1 week with the working week as well. So I'm gonna do the month-long version, and I think I'm gonna go for sci-fi fantasy team. There's 4 different teams. Like I said, I will link Jessie's channel down below, so you can go and have a look at that if you want to join in, because it's never too late to join in a readathon. I don't think it's going to be a nightmare to edit, but we are at the point of playing the game. So thank you if you've watched up until this point. If you have skipped to this point, I appreciate you as well. Got my little raven ready to go. And let's start the rolls. So let's see what we've got for our first destination on the map. So we've got 6, 3, so that's 9, 9 and 2, 9 and 2. We've landed on Booktuber Rec already. Booktuber Rec, and we got Elliot. Oh, she reads a lot of like sci-fi and high fantasy, doesn't she? 2 days ago, favourite fantasy moments of 2021. Of course she did. Of all the booktubers I could have got out of the ones that were on the board, I think I was the most intimidated by Elliot's potential choices.
Hello friends, so today's video is going to be a list of my favorite books of 2021.
I'm just going to scrub through and see if I can see anything first of all. Okay, my camera cut off, so I'm not sure where it got up to, but I'm just seeing what Elliot is saying about Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, because this could be a polar fantasy. I'm not too sure.
And I thought that was a good book, and I liked the ending. I liked a lot of the things that the author dived into that were a little bit heavier, and it's somewhat bleak and it's very atmospheric, and I like a lot of our characters, and I like the way all their plot lines intertwine, and I just was like, I liked that a lot. The more I think about it, the more I liked it.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a look. She didn't say whether or not it was polar fantasy. It kind of looks kind of polarish on the cover, so I'm just gonna have a look and see if I can get access to that. Okay, so I've just looked into that, and it does seem like it is a polar fantasy. It mentions magic and a winter fairy king, so I think for Booktuber Rec for Elliot Brooks, I'm going to choose Spinning Silver. Okay, thank you to Elliot for that. And let's roll again. So that is 13 and 1. Where are you moving? Here we go. 13. Oh, water. That's an extra roll. Oh no. Just making a note of that so I don't forget. Oh no. So this counts as our second roll, because I have to, if I land in water, I have to obviously re-roll that because I've landed in water, and also add an extra roll. So 8 and 9. Okay, we're on land. Prompt jar it is, because there's nothing in this square. So we're going to have a little dive into here, and hopefully it's something that I can use Here we go, this is the one. And what is it? Hyped, I think that says. I'm gonna go for Witches Steeped in Gold, sci-fi fantasy for Blackathon I mean. Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart, which is about 2 witches, and it is Jamaican mythology, I believe. And I think this one, I'll go through the prompts at the end, but I think this one will go for the loyalty betrayal one. I think is one of the ones on the sci-fi fantasy team, because it says order divides them and revenge will unite them. So I feel like it's going to be maybe some loyalty betrayal here. A fierce and thrilling story where dangerous magic reigns supreme and betrayal lurks beneath every word. Okay, so it's actually mentioned betrayal, and I'm guessing there's going to be some loyalty between them because they have to join forces. The 2 witches enter a deadly alliance to take down the woman who threatens both their worlds. So not only are essentially the heroines female, we have a female villain as well, which is amazing. Awesome. Next roll. Number 3. Okay, 10 and 6. 10 and 6. Here. Prompt jar again. Okay. Oh, I want this one. Ooh. Fave author, Frostheart by Jamie Littler. This is the 2nd book in the Frostheart series. I really enjoyed the first one. I did a lot of it on audiobook. It's an adventurous story. He lives in this place. He lives in somewhere called a stronghold, and there's these monsters that go under the ice, and he has this ability that's forbidden, to do with singing. And so in the first one, and his parents have gone missing. We follow him in the first book on this adventure across the ice. He's looking for his parents, and there's adventure and monsters, and like this kind of found family vibe with the characters that he's on the journey with. Hello you, got another dog. Okay, so that was the 3rd one. So we'll go into the 4th roll. That is 11, and that was 8. I've just knocked it over, haven't I? 11 and 8. I realised that I was like down so you couldn't see. I think I did that for the last couple as well, so I'm going to try and do it like this so you can see, with that me trying not to see any clues as to what I might be picking out. Come on. I need a bigger jar. I need a bigger boat. Okay. That's literally the worst thing I could have got. Liam's bookshelf. He's got no polar fantasy. Oh! I know what I could do though, and I've got it on a story graphic genre challenge for the prompt, classic by a black author, and that is Passing by Nella Larson, and this is from Liam's bookshelf, so I'm going to add that. It's quite short. There's actually 2 books in this, so I'm just going to read Passing for this particular prompt. It's like literally like 101 pages or something. Perfect. It won't, because it's not sci-fi or fantasy, it won't fulfill one of the prompts for Blackathon, but that's okay. Okay, so we're on roll number 5 of 6. So that's 8, 3. Prompt jar again. So let's Come on, another one where I can fit something that I want to fit in. Come on, this one. Okay. Try and show you first. It might be upside down. Black author. Wow, this is being so good to me. I'm getting very suspicious. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I think one of the prompts is neon cover, and there is this collection. I've just got a Kindle, and there's this collection on Kindle Unlimited called Black Stars, and it's 6 short stories by Black authors in like the science fiction genre. So I'll try and find an image, but all of the covers have like a neon kind of feel to them. So I think I'm gonna choose those. So final roll, unless we land in water this time. Here we go. Okay, 2, so that's 6 and 6. Oh, I thought I'd spoken too soon then. Okay, so we're landing in the creepy, desolate area. That's where we're gonna finish for today, but that is prompt jar again. So we only landed on one thing, which was Booktuber X for Elliot, but that's okay. That is more than okay for this month, because it means I can't believe how kind this has been to me. My goodness. Okay, that one's unfolded, so I don't want to get that one. I need to get a bigger jar. I need a bucket or something. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one. I forgot to mention these. There are, I think, 5 or 6 of each of, I think there's +2 books, there's -1 book, and there's swap a book. And there's 6 of each of these in the prompt jar. And I've just got +2 books. Okay. Okay, let's see. 4 and 6 is 10 and 8. 10 and 8 is prompt jar again. From here for our 6th book of what is now going to be 8. So let's see. Ooh. Modern classic. I'm going to go for Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo because it was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2020. So I'm gonna consider that to be modern classic status, because I do want to try and read as many Black authors as possible this month for Readathons, and I've heard so many really good things about this. It says it's following 12 different characters. It says this is Britain as you've never read it, this is Britain as it's never been told. From the top of the country to the bottom, across more than a century of change and growth and struggle in life, Girl, Woman, Other follows 12 different characters on an intertwined journey of discovery. It is future, it is past, it is fiction, it is history, it is a novel about who we are now. Next roll. Okay, rolling number 7 and 8. I've still got those 2 books that I needed to get in. 6, so that's 12 and 9. Oh, water. So that's going to be 9 rolls. I need to re-roll for this. This is a disaster. 4 and 3. Rogue Island. Yay! But we've not landed on Rogue. Thank goodness for today. Like, I'm excited by a pet pick, but today's just not the day. 4-3, so that's prompt jar again. Okay. Okay, what have we got? Ooh. Trans author. Decided to read is a book from an author that I've been wanting to get to for quite some time now actually, and that is Rivers Solomon. And I initially was going to pick The Deep because that is the first book that I ever knew about from them, and it's been on my backlist for a while. But then I discovered An Unkindness of Ghosts, is that what it's called? Yes, An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon, which is a sci-fi. And according to this, it's sci-fi and fantasy. One of the best science fiction and fantasy books of the past decade, it says on Scribd, which is promising. And it's about the protagonist, Asta, who is born into slavery on a spaceship, I think. And I believe she's dark-skinned and an orphan as well. And it's about this ship that is continuing to try and transport the last humans from, I think, a dying planet and they're going to a quote-unquote promised land. And the spaceship is brutally segregated, and she starts to learn things about her mother's death, and as a result starts to uncover truths about the ship itself, which sounds amazing. It was Rivers Solomon's debut novel, I believe, and it's supposed to be fantastic, so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully the last roll. Okay, what do we get there? 7 and 6. Please don't be water, please don't be water, please. Okay, good stuff. Okay, and another prompt from the prompt jar. That's good, we can work with that. Okay, so we've got the prompt jar, so let's okay. Adult. Perfect. I'm going to put this on for adult because this is a thriller, I think, and it's definitely not a YA thriller, I don't think. So The Baby Is Mine by Oyinkan Braithwaite, which is that thriller that I mentioned earlier that I wanted to put on. I'm going to go through the ones we got rolls for first of all, so this might not be in order, but one that I don't have physically, which we landed on Booktuber rec for Elliot Brooks, was Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. The Baby Is Mine by Oyinkan Braithwaite for adults. Nella Larson, Passing for Liam's Bookshelf. Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. I mentioned it was shortlisted for the Women's Prize. It actually says winner of the Booker Prize at the top, and I picked that for Modern Classic. Frostheart, Escape from Aurora for Fave Author. Witches Steeped in Gold for Hyped by Shannon Smart. The Prompt Black Author, which I chose the Black Stars Collection, which is the sci-fi collection on Amazon Kindle. And then for Trans Author, I chose An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon. So I'll just quickly go through the prompts. So Polathon, first of all, because I'm on the adventurers team. Frostheart is gonna be for adventure and cold word because of frost. Then I'm gonna go for Elatsaway for foiled cover because it has got some foil there, and that takes it out on the running for Polar Fantasy because I'm not entirely sure that it is actually a Polar Fantasy. And then for Icy Magic and Polar Fantasy, I'm gonna put Spinning Silver there. So that's 3 books on my TBR for Polathon. I feel like 3 books in a week is manageable. I can do that. Okay, for Blackathon, for the science fiction fantasy team, I realised that the neon cover prompt was for, I think, literary contemporary fiction, but I just remembered it. So the Black Stars collection won't actually be for one of my Blackathon prompts, but it's fine. I still wanted to read it anyway, and it's loads of wonderful Black authors, so that's all that matters. But for the prompts, the duality of loyalty and betrayal, which is steeped in gold, and then for a trans spectrum representation, I'm putting an Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. Then the next prompt is 312 to 387 pages, of which either, I need to check if you can double up. I think you can, because obviously my other books by Black authors are from a different genre than science fiction, fantasy, and that collection is obviously loads of short stories, so they're not gonna fit that either. So I need to check if you can double up. I think you can. If you can, both an Unkindness of Ghosts and the group book Escaping Exodus both fit within those parameters. So if I'm allowed to double up, one of those will fulfill that. If not, I will choose something else. That's absolutely fine. This is the books I have physically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Then we've got Escaping Exodus, which is the group book. We've got An Unkindness of Ghosts, which is on Scribd. We've got Spinning Silver, which I need to get hold of, and the Black Stars collection on Amazon Kindle. So that's actually 10 books on my February TBR, and I've got 3 weeks left to go. Sure, at least I know that the Polathon ones will be over and done with in a week. This is really short as well, so I've got a couple around 100 pages. This one's over 500. These are around 400. It's 10 books and this many pages. I will add it up and tell you how many pages it is. So that was quite a marathon. Thank you so much if you're still here. I have no idea how long this video is going to end up being with editing, but I really hope that you enjoyed it. Obviously it won't be as, it will obviously be shorter and snappier in future because it will just be playing the game. We won't be setting it up every single time. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I don't know if there's a map emoji. Is there a map emoji? I know there's a tent one, so pop me a tent emoji in the comments if you're still with me, because I'll be really interested to know. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you enjoyed them. Remember to add your book recommendations, prompt recommendations and Booktuber recommendations down below if you do have any, and I'll add them into the game. And with all that being said, subscribe if you're new and you want to see the next episode of My TBR, and like the video if you enjoyed it. And I'm going to bed. Thank you so much again, and I will see you for the next video. Bye.